This is a quick video demonstration of our Elite Series DVR local interface, and I'm going to be showing you some of the key features of this DVR. As you see, when you turn on your DVR for the first time, you will find this startup wizard. This startup wizard will allow you to configure the main keys of the main features of this DVR, such as the time, the resolution of the cameras, the schedule, etc. There's three methods of communication with the DVR, and one of them is locally with the mouse. Also, you can use the remote control that comes with the DVR, or you can use your computer over the network. As long as the DVR is connected to the network, you can manage it that way as well. So to start, just click Next. It's going to ask you to log in. This main login interface is the same for all of our DVRs. And this is the general window. Under the general window, you can configure the time format, how the hard drive is going to behave if it gets full. If you wanted to stop recording, you can do so. You can change the device ID or the device name, how you're going to find it over the network, over NetBIOS. The pack duration. Realtime is a new feature on pretty much all of our DVRs that will allow you to play back on the fly on each channel individually up to 60 minutes. And by default is 5 minutes, and I will show you that that feature later on the video. Auto logout will allow you to set up a timeout when you're not doing anything locally on the DVR. It will log out automatically after 10 minutes. And this option right here, navigation, I will show you later throughout the video. It's a new feature that pretty much all of our DVRs will have, and it makes you easy to navigate throughout the menus. Next step will be the TV adjust. If you have a TV connected to the video out of the DVR, you can configure how the ratio of the image will be displaying on that TV. Under encode, we can see here you can configure how the cameras are going to be recording, the resolution in particular. So you can set the DVR to record a regular recording 24/7 period at a particular resolution, or when it's recorded in motion, you can set it as well at a particular resolution. They work completely different. So also you can see the extra stream. It will this configuration is basically how your phone will connect to the DVR. That's the type of connection and resolution that your phone uses to connect to the DVR. You can configure the frame rate. Based on the DVRs, you will have different frame rates, and this is also for the extra stream applies as well. You can configure how much bandwidth each camera is going to be pulling off your network. You can enable audio for both the extra stream and the mainstream. You can set up overlay if you wanted to remove the time display on the channel display. You can set up snapshots from here based on timing or trigger. And let's move on to the next step. In here you can configure the schedule of how the DVR is going to be recording. You can mix and match. You have 24/7 recording, you have motion detection, or you have alarm or motion detection on alarm. You can set up different periods. You can apply this to actually holiday settings too as well. You can check certain days to be your holiday days and configure the schedule based on those dates as well. You can enable a snapshot here. This is the timing snapshot option right here. And also set up redundancy. That's when you have multiple hard drives on a full-size DVR or even our mini DVRs. You can configure redundancy on those drives as well. This applies to every channel individually or all of the channels as well. Let's move on to the next step. Here you can tell the DVR to record based on a schedule that you have set up previously, or record manual, which means that it's going to record 24/7, or completely stop. You can also set up the extra stream recording, which is necessary if you buy our Tech Pro SS Plus that will allow you to play back over the phone, and this option needs to be enabled. Otherwise, you will not be able to play back on your phone if this option is disabled. Let's move on to the next step. This is the network configurations. Here you can set up the IP of your DVR based on your IP scheme. You can set up as DHCP to find an IP on your network and then uncheck it to make it static. The ports necessary to connect to the DVR as well, you can change it to whatever you want pretty much, but this is the default what you see in here. Under network settings, you will have more features. Also, you will have UPnP. Most routers allows you to set up UPnP, and UPnP stands for Universal Plug and Play, and will allow you to port forward automatically without opening any ports, as long as this option is enabled on your router. So you can click enable or on, and your router will port forward those ports assigned to this configuration. You can set up email settings, FTP. There's many features here you can configure on your DVR. And once I click finish, all of those configurations that I change, if I change something, it will stay on the DVR, and that's how the DVR will be configured at the end. I'm going to cancel this by just right-clicking. And as you see, this is a 32-channel DVR. We have 4 channels, 8 channels, 16 channels, up to 32 channels. If this is the main interface. When you turn on the DVR, basically this is what you will see. And each camera is labeled with a number representing the channel where the camera is plugged in. You'll see every time that I go to each channel, you will see this little bar in here. And this is the real-time option that I enable. So if I wanted to play back something up to 60 minutes, I just simply go to that channel and just click that playback, and you can see the DVR is going to start playback that channel. I can just double click and do the same thing. It will start playing back. You can see here it went back 5 minutes. All right. Also, you can have digital zoom, so you can check that option and make a square, and then basically the DVR will zoom in digitally. If I have a USB connected to the DVR, I can click here. It's going to ask me, okay, right now it's saying that there's no USB, but it would basically ask me to back up the file based on this particular channel. So it's very useful when you wanted to just back up a particular channel. Here, if you right-click on the mouse, you can see different type of layouts that your DVR offer. For example, you can go view 1, and this is the view that we're currently at. View 4, and you can choose a group of 4 cameras. You can view 8, a group of 8 cameras, all the way to 36. So 36 channels actually will be the whole 36 channels on the main interface. You see, when I click on every space on one of the windows exactly, this menu will pop up. This is the navigation option I choose at the beginning. If I click on it on any space, pretty much a single click, this menu will pop up, and this is a quick access to the menus of the DVR. I can change here the layouts if I want to. If I click on it, I can choose the 8 view actually, and 4 view if I wanted to. It's very simple. If I click here, we'll go to the main menu. Very quick access, all the way to 36. If I have a pan tilt zoom, I can click on it, and it will basically allow me to access the pan tilt zoom controllers. Here I can click and I can go to search, and I can search footage on my DVR. This is a main search interface. There's ways to access it rather than using the navigation panel. I will show you in a little bit. But basically here you can just pick a day from the calendar, for example, Saturday. And here on this timeline bar, it will show you the recordings that my DVR have, and I can just simply click on it, and it will display the recordings that my DVR have. Also, if I right-click, it will go back, and I can choose a different layouts. I can play up to 16 channels at the same time. I can actually play 32 channels at the same time because it's a 32 channel. I can play the first 16 and then the next 16 channels as well. Very simple to use. I can download footage from here. I can just click on it and pick a day, and basically will search for that criteria that I type in here, and then the result will show up here. Very simple to use. Another way to get into the search is by right-clicking. You can see there the search option. It will go back again. Another great feature that some of our DVRs offer is called Smart Search. This, you can find it on the search interface, and basically will allow you to select areas, and the DVR will search on those areas that you select. So this works on a single channel view, and choose the channel that you want. For example, channel 1, and pick a date that you're interested. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the Smart Search button right here, If you hover over your mouse on top of that button, you will see that it says Smart Search. And I'm just going to select this area right here. I want to see if something happened in that area. Someone walks in or something like that. And then basically once I select the area, I just click Smart Search. And there you go. That person just crossed over that area that I selected before. And that's what it's showing me right now. And it will keep repeating the same thing if, you know, multiple motion events happen at that particular area. When it's done, it's just basically it will stop showing any footage. You can adjust the color settings per channel basis. So if I go to, let's say, channel 2, and I right click and I click color settings, I can change any of the color settings here, and I can set up a period, a 12-hour period. So this will be my first 12 hours, and the next will be the other 12 hours. So in total of a 24-hour period, you can set different color settings. Pan tilt zoom. This opens up the pan tilt zoom controller, and then from here I can move the camera if I want to. All right, I can zoom in if I want to from here. I can zoom out. And another neat feature that only our DVRs have is called PTZ trace. When I click PTZ trace, what I have to do to work with the PTZ trace is hold the left click on your mouse and then move the mouse to whatever place you wanted to move it. And basically the camera will follow that. This is very cool. If you move down, the camera will follow. It pretty much will follow up the mouse movements. If you want to zoom in, you can use the scroll on your mouse. If you want to zoom out, again, you use the scroll on your mouse. It's a very neat feature. Only our DVRs have it. Just going to change this to 36 view, and I'm going to access the main menu. Here, we already show this option. This is the search option. Here under info, you can see, for example, info about your hard drive, how much total space it has, how much free space it has, and the status of the hard drive. The BPS, you can see how much bandwidth each camera is using. The logs, you can search any kinds of logs that you want based on the criteria you're choosing here. For example, I want to see something happen on the system, and I just choose a start time and an end time, and just click details, and I can see video loss on channel number 17. Or I can click search, and it can be more granular and said, okay, the DVR shut down at this particular time, and this is the flag of the shutdown. You know, what is the reason why it shuts down. The 0x01 means that I rebooted myself. Online users, you can see whoever is logged in to the DVR over the network. Go to settings, RS-232, you can connect an RS-232 device on the back of a DVR and control the DVR from it. Under alarm, we can set up any alarm inputs or outputs and how they're going to behave. If I wanted to show a message when an alarm triggers, I can do so by just clicking here and assigning a particular alarm output to do anything I want. I can enable PTZ activation. There's many things here you can configure. You can configure how long the alarm is going to stay on and so on. And the type of alarm input that you have, if it's normally closed or normally open. Under detect, you can configure how the camera sensitivity will be. This is as per channel basis, so you have to choose one particular channel and configure its features. I can tell it to change to go, for example, on a tour when camera number 8 captures motion, or I can trigger an alarm output to when this particular channel triggers. You know, just tell the alarm output number 1 to trigger as well. Pan tilt zoom. This is where you have to configure the protocol, the address, and the baud rate of that specific camera. Each camera has a unique address, a protocol, and a baud rate. So you have to match whatever the camera has on its configurations, so you will be able to move the camera from the DVR itself. On the display, you can configure, modify the channel names if you want to. You can adjust the resolution of the display that is connected directly to the DVR, all the way to 1080p if it's connected to an HDMI port that the DVR have. You can configure a tour on the main screen as well to rotate certain cameras. Default, I can default the entire DVR. If I don't like the way that I configure, or if I made a mistake, it's not a problem. I can just choose actually individual options or configured or default the entire DVR with just one click and click OK, and that's pretty much it. It's very simple. Under Advanced, under HDD Manage, you can set how the hard drives are going to be set. If you have multiple drives, they will show up here. As you see, it says SATA and it says 1 through 8. This particular DVR, because it's a 32, it supports 8 drives. And you can set it here how they are going to be set, if they want to be allowed to be read and write, read only, or formatted. When you format, just so you know, when you format a drive, you will lose everything in it. Just basically wiping everything off. You can also see this particular hard drive is configured as a read and write, and the status is normal. It's at 250 gigs. The DVR will reserve some space based on the partition tables and all that, and the record times of the DVR. Under alarm set, you can, under event type, you have different events that you can configure certain things. For example, if this has no space, you can tell it to activate an alarm output or trigger a light, for example. You can have the DVR to show you a message, to send you an email, to activate buzzer. I mean, there's many things that you can configure in those settings. HDD settings, you can configure hard drive grouping. And this is very useful if you wanted to have different cameras to record at a particular group of hard drives. So everything will be, for example, if some of them fail and you have very important cameras, you can have those on a particular group that has, let's say, redundancy. So if one of those drives fail, you can have a copy. You can still have a copy of your footage over there without losing it. And here is where you configured each channel to a particular group of hard drives. So it's very intuitive, very easy to configure. As long as you have multiple drives, you can configure those settings as well. eSATA will allow you to attach an eSATA device, and it will allow you to configure it as part of your storage, or you can configure those drives or a drive to do backups, for example. It's very intuitive. We sell a NAS4, which is only eSATA connection, and it will be attached to this DVR. For example, if you buy one of those, you attach it to it, and you can configure those 4 drives as part of your storage. So you will have double or increase double the storage that you have currently internally on your DVR, and then increase also the amount of days that you can record as well. Or you can just simply configure those drives as your backup. So you will have the DVR to do backups just on those hard drives. Alarm outputs, you can see what alarm output is triggered, and you can tell it to do it either manually or based on a schedule, or you can just simply stop it. Accounts, here you can configure the accounts or the usernames and passwords that they're going to be accessing the DVR. You can set up different rights, you can set up different groups, and you can modify passwords if you want to. I mean, if you don't want it to have the default password for the default usernames that the DVR comes with, you can easily just configure in here. Auto maintenance would allow you to auto reboot the system on a specific date and time. You can tell it to auto reboot every day or never. And you can also configure auto delete all files based on days. Text overlay allows you to configure text that will overlay on a particular channel from your POS device. So if you have a point of sale system, you can attach it to the DVR either from the network or through an RS-232 and tell the DVR to overlay every cell or every information that comes out of that port on your POS. Config backup would allow you to export the settings of your DVR once everything is configured, and you can put it in a thumb drive. If something happened to your DVR and you need to re-import those settings, you can just simply click in, put in the USB on your DVR, and then re-import the settings, and all of your settings will be there. Very simple. Video Matrix will allow you to configure a tour on a particular TV that you have connected to the video spot out. You can set a group of cameras or a single camera. In this particular DVR, you can only set up one camera at a time, meaning you can have the DVR rotate one channel at a time and full screen every 5 seconds. Backup will allow you to backup footage from your DVR. This is another way to backup footage to a flash drive or an external hard drive connected through the USB. And you can also erase that hard drive. And if you have a DVD burner, like let's say an external DVD burner, when it's attached to the USB, you can just simply click detect and it will show up here, and you can use that media to also back up footage. So if you rather use a DVD burner, if you didn't get it with our full-size DVR or even with a mini DVR, you can use an external DVD burner and back up footage that way as well. And lastly, what I'm going to show you is the shutdown option. Here, when you click on it, you can log out the menu user, you can shut down the unit, you can restart the system, or you can switch users. I hope that you like this video, and thank you for watching.